It's been a while since you were lost. And here you are, lost in all of eternity, is something you would say. An exaggerated form of expression of the experience you're having at the moment. However, you do feel lost at the moment. Yes. The channel is clearing for you to come through more clearly. In a way, the word lost is already an exaggerated form of expression of the experience you're having right now. Lost means you cannot be found. There is indeed a great depth there to uncover. However, truly lost is never truly lost. You most definitely are found. You're finding yourself on a deeper level. You have not encountered this depth before, and therefore it feels like you're lost. But you're not. You're not lost. This depth is a way of looking at it, a way of thinking about it. It might suit you on your quest, might be helpful to perceive it like that. It takes away a certain dramatization of the experience, in which you spiral out of control, back into control, back into your driver's seat would be the perspective of a deepening of your experience. It might be soothing, calming the nervous system, getting you back into control. There are many ways to look at this. If you have found another way, good for you. This depth is hinging you off a ledge of self-control, self-comfort. You're keeping yourself stuck there. That's why it's pushing you over the ledge, which might feel uncomfortable at first. The depth is a new way of looking at things in your life, in the current situation. There must be a new way of looking at it for you to continue your growth, your expansion, and your arrival at the same time. There needs to be a new way of looking at things. You need to get out of stuckness, since that is a self-imposed prison. Stuckness is also a dramatization of the experience. It's again spiraling you out of control. There are many ways of spiraling out of control, and you have them all in your hands. You simply need to look at things differently. Therefore, you might gain more self-control, getting back into your driver's seat, enjoying the experience once more from a new perspective, from a new way of looking at things. We need you to keep the hope up, to keep the faith, not losing your faith in things, in people, in places, in things. To keep your faith and stand your ground. Stand it firmly. Stand your ground firmly. Stand your ground. Change perspective. That's all it takes for you in this moment in time. It might be a lot to ask. Of you. For it is not easy to change perspective while you're still standing in an uncomfortable place. But it is for the benefit of all that you do so. That you do not lose hope and you keep the faith in things brightening up, in things leveling up. For change is imminent, as always. This is not new, it has always been so. Therefore, you might as well keep the faith that things might change, since they always do and always have done. There is an easier way, and it requires even more changes of perspective. Simply letting it all go while you're still standing. While you're standing tall. While you're keeping the faith. Keeping hope. Having this new perspective. I call it new. It has not really been done this way before. Therefore, we call it new. A new perspective. It requires a couple of perspective changes. You can also do it at once, but might as well take some steps in the process of becoming this version of you that can hold this all at once. The ones of you doing this are very skilled at holding the frequency of their being in the purest form of light itself. It's an art in and of itself, an art of your creation. You might applaud yourself while you're standing there. If you're holding all of this, you can also applaud yourself, apparently. Not apparently. Don't say that. You will applaud yourself in the process, which brightens up your energy frequency even more. That's why we call it the easier way, since it feels light and easy. However, it takes quite some skill. And we say that because we need to recognize that you are a very skilled being. Who carries a lot of hope and pure intention. Driven by a work of art in the making. There's no need for you to call back hope, since hope is already there. You're carrying it in your blueprint. that is in fact who you are. The purest light frequency of you. There's no need calling it back since it is you. You simply have to remember and then put it into practice. That's what the changes of perspective are adding to you, are teaching you, are helping you to do, to remember your blueprint. And when you anchor into the blueprint, you shine your brightest frequency. This is a work of art in itself. It's very skillful indeed. And it's very light and bright. Shining your purest form into the cosmos, all of eternity. See how we have changed perspective from the beginning of this video, this channel, where we also mentioned eternity. This is the change of perspective we are talking about. It's not easy. However, it's lighter and brighter the more you change perspective. As a multifaceted being, which is your core being, your core frequency, your core vibration, it isn't stagnant ever. In its essence, it doesn't ever stagnate. Therefore, changes are ever present on many layers of reality, many layers of being. You might not always see them with your two eyes. However, it is imminent that you will finally see changes with the two eyes. There's a way of knowing that you're in this process already. You simply count to 2. Once you get there, you will vanish. 1, 2. The vanishing act of your creation is about seeing things clearly for what they truly are. They might not make rational sense to you. However, in this space it does make immense sense to you. It resonates on a deeper level. That's where your truth resides. Your truth resonates with you, and that is where you stay put. That's where you keep the faith and you do not lose hope. We hope you've enjoyed this message. You've got some clarity. There's more news to share in this message. However, it is for a next time. So thank you for watching, for listening, for deeply and truly listening, for being here. I really appreciate that. And we'll see you next time.